if you're an interior designer who wants to build your confidence, one of the easiest ways to do that is to learn to draw. And one of the biggest reasons that we all need to draw is because that is the language of design. That is how we communicate our ideas, whether it's 2D plans, whether it's three-dimensional scaled drawings as spatial models, whether it's a technical drawing showing how to build something like a bespoke cabinet or or a piece of joinery, or even wainscoting on the walls. This is the language that we use to communicate all the ideas in our head to somebody else. I know there's this like image of an interior designer walking into a room and they're like throwing their hands around and, you know, oh, this is where you should put this here and that there. That is okay for an initial chat, but it's not how we design as designers, and it's not how we communicate our designs. So building your confidence as a designer is directly linked to how you communicate those designs. So the other reason why drawing is going to build your confidence is because you can see your mistakes once you start drawing them. So, or once you start drawing your ideas, you start to come and start solving the problems of what might have happened in reality on site. You actually start to deal with that before it even happens, because you've already drawn it, you've already seen it in 3D, you've understood all of the bits and pieces that you're looking at and have solved the problems before they've become reality. And this is one of the most freeing things as a designer, and one of the biggest things that I've seen change and build confidence in my mentees as they were getting through from a point of not only just being able to call themselves a designer, but feeling like they're somebody who deserves to be paid and called an interior designer. So you can also see things like proportion, scale, but predominantly the mistakes is actually a really good one because that helps build confidence. But being able to see the decisions that you've made before they become reality is it's one of the things that gives you confidence to build that design. It also means that you can communicate it professionally to other professionals. For example, the contractor or builder, to an architect if you were working on a project that requires an architect, to an engineer if you're taking out walls, and to the client. You can communicate in the way that you're expected to communicate in the construction industry. So the thing about interior designers is they often say, oh, I'm just an artist who's creating this end result, but actually you're part of a process. And usually if you're working on full scale full service designs from start to finish, that does usually entail some kind of building work. So in order to communicate that, you need to present some kind of technical drawing, and learning to draw in AutoCAD or SketchUp are some of the simplest ways that you can communicate your drawings and your ideas and visions in your head. And next is you won't second guess yourself about the decisions you've made. And I think this is one of the biggest reasons learning to draw will create confidence or help you grow your confidence as a designer. Mainly because once you see your decisions, you can be confident in those decisions, that when someone asks you, oh, well, why are you doing it this way? You can prove it with a drawing and say, well, look at the relationship here between the scale of these objects. I really believe that we need to move this over here, and this is the reason for it. And you can justify your ideas with proof. So drawing is one of the easiest ways to grow your confidence as an interior designer. So if you want to learn to draw either in AutoCAD or SketchUp, have a look at our courses on IntoDesign.